Hi everyone, welcome back to our series on 종의 기원 by You-jeong. Today we're going to continue where we left off with last time. 머리 위 어디쯤에선 발음이 어눌한 남자의 노랫소리가 울리고 있었다. Here you see one of these words that is basically a compound of several different little particles put together that at first it might look a little bit scary, but if you break it down, it's not actually all that bad. So 어디쯤에선, 어디 plus 쯤, so around somewhere or around where, 에서, so from around somewhere, plus the topic marker, 니은. I'd like to also point out this word below, 노랫소리. It's just a combination of 노래 and 소리. But what you'll notice here is that there's an extra S underneath 노래. You'll notice it very often when two nouns are combined like this. It's called 사이시옷, or middle S, and it's very common. 잊지 못할 빗속의 여인, 그 여인을 잊지 못하네. So speak of the devil, here we have another example of exactly what I was just describing in the previous slide, the 사이시옷, or middle S. Here we have a combination of 비 and 속, so in the rain, 빗속. And it basically just sounds like a prolonged S, just like in 노랫소리, there's a little bit of a longer S. Here you'll notice this ending 네, and 네, as you know, is often used to express surprise, or at least mild surprise, whereas here it's actually just the ending of a simple statement, so it's not expressing surprise here. And my wife tells me that it gives a feeling of lingering sadness to the end of the sentence in this song. I'd just like to point out that these are the lyrics to a very famous Korean song. It's from the 60s. It's called 빗속의 여인, or The Woman in the Rain. And it's been used in movies, TV shows. If you've watched 살인의 추억, you might have heard the song there. This is the kind of thing where if a Korean were reading this book, a native speaker, they would recognize the reference immediately. So it's a little bit of older pop culture, but as I said, it is still used occasionally in movies and things. So it's good to recognize the song. So if you don't know the song already, maybe just look up on YouTube 빗속의 여인 노래 or something like that. 무슨 일인지 이해하는데 그리 긴 시간이 걸리지 않았다. Many of you watching this video are probably already familiar with the grammar for 대, but just in case there are some people who haven't seen it before or are not sure what it means, I'm going to cover that in the last slide of this video, so just bear with me. 무슨 일이 일어날지 예측하는데 전제적인 상상력이 필요치도 않았다. Here we have this word 상상력, which means imagination, or literally power of imagination. And it's one of these examples where the word is pronounced a little bit differently from the way that it's written. So the last L or R in the word actually ends up being pronounced like an N. So it sounds like 상상력. The last part sounds like 력. And at the bottom here, 필요치 않다, it's just a contraction of 필요하지 않다. Another common example of this kind of contraction occurs with the verb 생각하다. So you might hear someone say, I didn't even think of that. 생각지도 못했다. And again, you'll notice here that we have this same 대 grammar, 예측하는 대, and that's going to be covered in the next slide. So this little particle here, 대, is used in two different ways in this video. One of them is to say that something takes time. It takes a certain amount of time. Here are a couple of example sentences of that. 집에서 마트 가는데 오래 걸린다. It takes a long time to go from home to the grocery store. Or 숙제하는데 오래 걸렸다. It took a long time to do homework. Then there's the second usage of 대, which means that something is required for something. In our first example, 전문가가 되는데 전문 지식이 필요하다. To become an expert, you need expertise, or expert knowledge, literally. And the second example, 그걸 하는데 특별한 기술이 필요하지 않다, which means there's no special technique or skill required or needed for doing that. If this is your first time seeing this grammar pattern, or perhaps you haven't gotten used to using it before, I highly recommend incorporating it into your speech because it's very, very common. It sounds very natural. As you can see here, there are lots of potential ways that you could use it in many different situations, so it's a very good pattern to know. That's all for today's video. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions about the content of the video, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.